What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Treasure's World. I'm Treasure Monroe, and during this video, I am going to be transferring my beautiful model from this look into something like this. So if you're interested, definitely keep watching.
It's a new level. I'm on a new level. Yeah. I'm headed for new levels.
What's up, everybody? So I'm just starting going in with some calamine lotion, and I'm going to apply that to her brows. So I recorded this look on Valentine's Day. This was my gift to her for Valentine's Day. My husband and I, we don't really celebrate Valentine's Day because every day is a day to love your spouse, to love your loved one, love those that are close to you. So we don't just look at it as only on February the 14th is a day of love. Every day is a day of love for us. And so what I decided to do, my friend, she's single. She's a single mom. And what I decided to do was to treat her today. So I decided to do her hair, I decided to do her makeup, and I decided to do a full makeover. I dressed her as well as did a photo shoot. And so we had a lot of fun with this. Now going in with my brow pencil. This is just a beauty supply brow pencil, J-Cat skinny brow pencil. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to carve out the shape of her brows, and I'm honestly just following the natural shape of her brows. I don't really have to create a shape. I'm just following the natural shape that she already has. I follow the natural shape of her brow, and then I'm just filling it in. Super easy. You definitely want to do this with a light hand. You don't want to go in heavy handed because it will definitely come out too dark. So now going in with my spoolie, I am using that to blend out the front of her brows. I do like for the brow to have an ombre look, ombre effect, which means it gradually goes from light to dark. So that is why I am blending out mainly the front, because I want it to be a lot lighter than the end or the tail of the brow. So you're just going to blend that out, move that product around until it's to your liking. Now going into the other brow, we're doing the exact same thing. We're going to follow the natural shape of the brow. Then we're going to fill it in, and then we are going to use our spoolie and just blend out the front of the brow. Okay, so next we're going to go in and conceal the brows to really chisel out the look. We're going in with the Camouflage Plus Matte Concealer. This is by Essence, and you can purchase it at your local Ulta. The darker one is in the shade Golden Toffee, and the lighter one is in 20 Light Ivory. And I'm taking Light Ivory right now, and I'm carving underneath, and I'm going to use Golden Toffee on top of her brow. Okay, so for this part, as I've told you guys several times before, when you are carving out or cleaning up the brow, you want to make sure that you drag the concealer down towards the eyelid, because when you go in to blend it out like this, you do not accidentally mess up the brow. It's easier for you to blend it out and you get a smoother blend. So make sure you drag it down and then pat it out. So we're going to repeat the same exact steps on the other side of the brow. And I zoomed in a little bit closer so that you guys can get a more detailed and a better view. So this part of recording was actually pretty difficult for me because I was not able to stand directly in front of my client to make sure that the brows were precise and looked exactly alike. Due to filming this, I could not stand in front of the camera, so therefore I had to kind of maneuver my body and change my posture to make sure that I got the brows as close as to sisters as I could, but also give you guys a great view as well of what I was doing. Same thing as you would do underneath the bottom. You want to make sure that you drag that product up using the concealer on the top of the brow and blend it out as well, so that you still can make sure that you don't accidentally wipe off or get any concealer inside of your brow when you are blending out the concealer. And also, you don't want just a harsh line of where you carved out your brows at using the concealer. So that's another reason you want to blend it up, because it definitely helps the face blend closer and better together once you apply your foundation, your concealers, etc. Okay, so going into my Warrior 2 palette from Juvia's Place, we're going to go in with the first shade, and we're going to use this as our transition shade. And it is the first shade in the palette on the top row. It is Yoded. And so we're going to go in and we're just going to blend that in our transition in our crease area in a circular motion like so. I'm going to keep applying this shade until it builds up until the intensity or to the color that I desire. And so once it gets to the shade that you like or to your liking, then you can stop and go in with your next shade. Also, to minimize using a ton of brushes, what I do to one side, I do to the other one, especially if you already know what type of look you're going for, you know how you want your look to be, to minimize using a lot of brushes or a bunch of different brushes. What you do to one side, do to the next side, and then when you go to your different shades, especially when you're working in the crease area, you can use that same brush and go in with a darker shade. Always work lightest to darkest. Do never do dark to light, because of course the dark colors will overshadow or overpower the lighter colors and they won't show. They'll kind of mix in and it'll just be dark and it'll be a mess. So definitely work from lightest to darkest in the transition area, in your crease area. So here we're going in with our crease shade, and the shade that I'm using is out of the same palette, and it is the Kafuru. That is the brick brown shade that is right next to Yoded. So I'm using that shade to darken up my crease and to add some depth, so that when we go in and do a cut crease, it'll really pop and it really will show the cut very, very well. So I don't know what happened to the footage of me actually cutting the crease, but it was deleted. Somehow it wasn't recorded. I'm not sure what happened, but I do apologize. But you guys have seen me cut a crease before. And if you like a very detailed video, or you'd like for me to do a video on showing you how to cut the crease, then I definitely will. Just comment it down below and I will do that. But right now I'm just finishing up, cleaning up my crease, fixing any unstraight lines, crooked lines, or anything, just perfecting my crease area. Now going in with the Nudes palette by Juvia's Place, I'm going into the first top shade in the left hand corner. Actually the middle shade, I'm sorry. I'm going in with the middle shade on the top row, and I'm applying that to her lid. now going in with my Essence Super Precise Eyeliner. It's long lasting plus waterproof. You can purchase this at your local Ulta as well. It was probably like $1.99, or you can use whatever eyeliner, liquid eyeliner that you prefer. But this is where I purchased mine at Ulta, and I'm just going in and creating her a wing liner. Next, going again with Essence as well. Get Big Lash Volume Boost mascara, clump free. I'm going in with it and I'm applying it to her lashes. Now, the reason that I use mascara when I'm going to apply falsies, which I am, is because it acts as a barrier to protect your lashes from the actual glue. So I love doing this method because, especially if you're using hair glue or glue that does not go on your lashes. Now, I do use actual lash glue. I do not use hair glue. I actually use the lash glue, but it acts as a barrier. Also, it definitely helps with blending the false lashes and your real lashes together, where you can't tell where they start or stop. So you definitely want to use this technique. Now, as we start on the face, I'm going in with my e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dewy Primer or Dew Primer. You guys already know I absolutely love this primer. It smells so good, and to me, I feel like it's a dupe for the Milk Hydro Primer, but I like this better because it's inexpensive and it does the job really, really good. It's very like tacky kind of, but very hydrating and moisturizing. I absolutely love this product. So I'm going in with that to prime her face and get it ready for the product and the foundations that we're going to be using. And I'm just really just tapping it in all over her face. So next we're going in with the e.l.f. Hydrating Face Primer. Now with this particular primer, it says hydrating face primer, and I do believe that it does hydrate, but it acts more of like a blurring primer. So it feels more like a silicone base, but it goes on smooth. It makes my foundation look extremely smooth. So I definitely recommend this product to you as well, especially if you have textured skin, dry to normal combination skin as well. I definitely would recommend this face primer, and I'm just applying that to the face, and then we're going to go in with our foundation. So for the foundation of choice, I'm going in with the Too Faced Born This Way Matte 24-Hour Foundation in Chai. They sent me a small sample from Sephora, and this matched her skin perfectly. So I applied just a small amount on her face, blended it in. But I do want you guys to know that I did go back and add a little bit more to her forehead and to her cheek area where she had a little bit more of scarring and blemish spots. So for a fuller coverage, I did go back and apply a little bit more here and just blended it in on her forehead and her cheek areas. Y'all already know that I love this concealer. This is the Milani Conceal Plus Perfect Long Wear Concealer. It is in the shade Cool Sand. I'm going with it to highlight underneath her eyes, down the bridge of her nose, her forehead area, and her chin area. And then we're going to blend that out. Now, before we do blend it out, I'm going to go back in with the shade, concealer shade that we used underneath her eyebrows, which was the Camo Plus Matte Concealer in the shade Light Ivory. And I'm just going to apply a little bit of that directly on top of this product underneath her eyes because I really want a bright under eye. So after going in and blending it out evenly throughout, what you're going to see me do is right here, I have changed brushes and I'm using the brush that I used to apply her foundation. I haven't applied any more product onto it, but I'm going in with the leftover product that is on the brush and I'm blending in the concealer with the brush and mixing the concealer and the foundation. So I'm using that same brush to go in and kind of buffer out the edges of that concealer so that it blends very seamlessly from the lighter shade into her foundation. So here I have already went in and set her face. Somehow, again, the footage got lost of me doing that. I don't know if my camera just clicked off or stopped recording or what, but I set her face with the Wet n Wild Banana Photo Focus setting powder, and I also used my Morphe finishing powder in filter number 9 to bronze up her face, to set her whole entire face. Now I'm going in with the Milani Satin Amore satin lipstick in number 9, and then I'm just using a little bit of the Juvia's Place matte lipstick in the shade 102 to act as a liner, so to speak, to create an ombre lip look. So here I'm going back into the nude palette, and I'm applying that first shade in the palette on the top row on the left hand side, and I'm using that as a highlighter shade to highlight her Cupid's bow as well as her nose. Once I finished that, I did set her face with the e.l.f. Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist, and I also used the e.l.f. Coconut Spray Dewy Setting Spray as well to finish off the look. My friend went from this to this. So if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, comment them down below. I inserted this little clip of our photo shoot. Baby, my friend was feeling herself, honey.
Yeah, I know that you can talk. You talking